Hello, everybody. Welcome to your daily tarot card reading. This is the card reading for Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. Thanks for being here. I hope you have had a good week so far. We are midweek, and hope Monday and Tuesday went smoothly for you. We're going to take a look at a few cards from my incredibly beat up Llewellyn deck. These cards have been with me a long time. I use them a lot in my public readings, so they've seen some miles to be sure. As always, we're going to take a look at some cards, get an idea of what the general mood is like, what sort of energy is out there for us today as a form of a collective reading. I've mentioned this in the other readings. I usually do it near the end of the video, but I'm going to mention it in the beginning. I want to do this reading, and then I want you, if you have a tarot deck handy, if you have an oracle deck handy, I want you to pull a card as well and see how that card translates into the set reading that I am doing, and see if it gives you even more insight, gives you a little bit more of a personal connection into what's going on with you today based on the reading of the cards that are coming up here. Because my thought is that this is a collective reading, but you pulling your own card and attaching it to that collective reading, right, will give you a much more personal insight. I think it'd be interesting to see how that works out. Feel free to comment the cards you get down below in the comments. I'd be curious to see how everybody goes through things. So the weather has switched here, and it's a little bit chillier, and something changed with my allergies today, and I have a little bit of a stuffy nose, a little bit of a runny nose actually, so I'm sorry if I sound a little different or I have to sniff occasionally. It just kicked in too, it just kicked in later in the day today. But I'm doing this reading on Tuesday night in preparation for Wednesday, that one for sure. And again, this reading is always focused on us gaining insight, inspiration, wisdom, ideas for a beneficial day-to-day. And that one felt like just slid right out like silk. I love it when that happens. All right, let's take a look and see what our cards are for today. Nine of Swords. A little bit of anxiety, a little bit of concern. But this is about stepping into the day, not with anxieties. And if anxieties come up, the best way to work with them, again, is through direct action, through planning, through looking at what is causing your anxieties and your concerns, and really looking at how in the world around you, you can work with them, and you can bring action forward into anxiety and fear. Now, that's not to downplay anybody that is having serious anxiety today. But see if you can take a single step today. If things seem overwhelming today, try to get a higher perspective. That's another aspect of the Three of Wands card. This is about really getting an overview and a big picture and sometimes looking at the big picture can cause anxiety, right? But this is about like even a higher perspective than thinking about your next few weeks or your next few hours. This is a bigger overarching perspective of really looking down on everything at almost a universal level. And again, there's that energy of putting pen to paper, making plans, even if they're small plans, even if it is something as small as make your bed, right? I'm going to make my bed today. I'm going to do some laundry, like small little things to help move you in action to sort of pull you out of this headspace here that seems to be really weighing you down, really causing some concern and some anxiety today. So if some worries pop up today, try to take a step back, try to gain a higher perspective, and really give yourself some grace and some distance, and try not to let yourself get locked into a circuitous rhythm of anxiety and concern and fear. I think it's almost as if you have a choice today. You have a choice to really fall into this anxiety if you don't stay aware of it. So see what you can do with that. See how that energy feels. Feels like it might be a little bit of a bumpy day today. It feels like there's going to be some things that might pop up and surprise us or bring us a lot of concern. And it's going to be really important to maintain this perspective. This perspective higher up on a cliff, looking down over the bay, looking down over the gestalt of the issues, and not looking at the individual problems on each individual boat, right? This is a day to gain a different perspective and a little bit of a, I don't want to say higher, but just an elevated perspective on these concerns that might feel down at the base level, feel very, very overwhelming. As always, take care of yourself. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Make sure you're getting sleep. Make sure you're engaging in care activities for yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. You can't take care of the world around you. So yeah, take care of yourself today and make sure to try and maintain a little bit of a higher perspective so you can see where these anxieties are, what the real effect of them are. And there's also this sense of nightmares, like what is real, like what's real and what's made up, right? And this higher perspective will let you see sort of the wheels turning that may not be factual, but still setting off your emotions, right? And setting off your biochemistry. So be aware of that. And it's about focus, and it's about taking care of yourself. And again, I'm getting that sense of trying to maybe meditate and getting a higher perspective on where and what those concerns are. All right. So I'm going to look at an oracle card and see what it might add. All right, for this, I'm going to use the Celtic Spirit Oracle. I've used this a couple times, and I really like them. I like how they interact, especially with this Llewellyn deck. And I think I am going to use, we're going to use a pendulum to kind of get the general idea of where the card is. We'll see if we go all the way to the card. It's in there. Yep, it's this one. Sacred Waters, Deep Healing, Emotions, and Pilgrimage. What a beautiful card. So yeah, if those emotions come up today, and there's a sense of some very deep healing coming through today. And it's from having, it's almost this deep healing from the anxieties, or like the anxieties themselves, and these worries and these concerns. It's about letting water, there's some healing in those emotions. There's some healing in that water energy. I think it's interesting that this figure here is looking out over water, and water is in this card, though we don't have any cups. But maybe we don't have any cups cards because that is the answer to these situations, right? Is to calm that energy. I think it's also cool that pilgrimage is mentioned, and this fellow could easily be getting ready to go out on a pilgrimage, stepping into something new that is going to be sacred to them and to help that connection to divinity for that individual. What can you do today that is similar to take a look at things new to help you work with those fears in conjunction with your spirit team and with the divinity that you are connected to already? You know, yeah, there's a sense of water healing today. There's a sense of trying to working with water energy, whether that be a bath, a fountain, walking by a creek, or being by a lake. There is a sense of that will help with this connection and this perspective shift to take a look at these fears and these anxieties. That it just feels like these anxieties might surprise us and come in unexpected today, and it's going to be just really important to maintain a higher elevation on them and not let ourselves get sucked into them or pulled into them. Today, yeah, today is a day of some pretty deep emotions and but deep healing. Like it feels like this could be a very healing day for a lot of us. Or that it's also I'm also going to add that it feels like this might be a day where we gain a new perspective from the fears we've been having. If the past few days have been rough, or maybe even all the way into last week, if you've had a lot of anxiety and fears, it feels like today might be a turning point where you can get that elevation. You can use water energy and get that connection and that, like I said, that different perspective to see down and look. I mean, oh, now I see the way forward. So think about that as well today, as today might help you, might actually be a turning point in that healing process, in re-looking or looking again at those fears that have been bugging you and seeing them in a different light and really seeing the way forward and planning and being ready to move away from them. Okay. Yeah, a lot going on today. If you draw a card, let me know. Let me know what you get. Let me know how that might you think it plays into this reading for you. I'd be fascinated by all that. Have a great Wednesday and be ready to get a different perspective on things today. I wish you all the best. Peace and strength to all of you. I will have the moon phase reading up for you later today, for sure. So look for that. And I will see you on the reading for Thursday. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye bye.